Yeah, aight. Shit, give it to him. Let me get some of that Cavassier. I smoke socially, turn up the Marvin Gaye. Sex deep, she can feel all of me. Only way to live life is to fall away. Like YG, I'm trying to make a baby in the dark, heart never on plans for Billboard. Alright, so on this first episode of NIC MAG's Rap Reviews, we're going to be reviewing Jay Stone's God Got Me. That's a nice contribution to the culture. It's a follow-up to his previous album, The Definition of Success, which, you know what I'm saying, is totally a great listen. If you haven't given that a listen yet, definitely go and check that out on whatever streaming service you prefer to use. Personally, I still use Pandora, while most folks are on Spotify these days, but the former was out before the latter. I digress. I'm not really sure what religion Jay Stone subscribes to, but based on how he wrote the title on the album cover with dots that are indicative of pronunciation similar to Arabic writing and his prayer posture, I would say Islam. Also, and this is just my opinion, I feel the closest you can get to listening to Nipsey without listening to Nipsey is to bump some Jay Stone, because he was such a protege of him, and if I had to compare him to a past MC pioneer, I would say he's like a West Coast version of Guru from Gang Starr because of his monotone flow. Alright, let's get further into it. The material Jay Stone is speaking on goes back to his previous subject matter on success. You know, people support you until you make it, while others don't even want to see you be productive whatsoever if they can help it. That's in reference to the first couple of songs, God Got Me and Zone, but Show Shot struck me as one with more replay value because it was so upbeat, and it goes into detail on how he now resides in Laguna Niguel versus formerly being a resident of a cell block. Speaking of block, he says the main goal is to get up off the block. Also, Jay Stone frequently mentions rich rolling, which pretty much means money coming in. The term was coined in the early 1980s when a lot of LA street gangs became financially successful from the sales of narcotics. But you know, most people know that as something else. Growing up listening to West Coast hip hop, the term was once more repopularized for my adolescent cohort from Dub C's song Rich Rollin' on the album The Shadiest One. That's one of my top 10 rappers, by the way. Jay Stone addressed the term in his own style on the song Rich Roll on The Definition of Success, along with Ron partner Dave East and Symphony Green R&B in the hook. I absolutely loved it when Dave and Nip collaborated. Such a shame that we'll never get a chance to see that collaboration album materialize, but I digress. Once again, Jay Stone continues to address the haters. I like how he approaches his choruses. He doesn't really get too extra with it. Just, you know, he turns them into a chant on the song. Like, if I was you, ninja, I'd probably hate on me too. They say I'm the truth. No way I'ma lose. They playing for keeps. I ain't playing by the rules. If I was you, I'd be mad too. And I'll Be Hood, the remix, definitely a +1 with Freeway on there. Excellent choice for an East Coast rap pioneer. Both MCs, Jay Stone and Freeway, vibe well on the track. I remember the pinnacle of Freeway's song success in the early 2000s with Rock the Mic along with Beanie Siegel. Before the social media platforms, it was mostly message boards back in the day. I used to go on the now defunct rapmusic.com, and we would talk about how hot that joint was. Rock the Mic right. I'll Be Hood, without a doubt, is the most radio friendly on the album, even though radio plays anything but real hip hop these days. Lil Kendrick, Lil J. Cole here and there, and then they hit you with some reggaeton. Nothing wrong with reggaeton, it's just not real hip hop. That's all I'm saying, but I digress. By the way, I'll Be Hood on The Definition of Success with just Jay Stone on it is just as hot. But there's some funny moments on this record. I like the line, "Promise I'll never talk to Jake," not the one from State Farm, but the one that'll give you a case. That's on the song Trust Issues. Alright, so definitely bump that. Votto was on the joint Streets Is Calling. When you're a hustler for a long time, the thrill of the game never leaves your blood, even when you go straight. I don't know the intricacies of that personally, but I know some dudes, you know what I'm saying, who live that life. Otherwise, Votto is an awesome MC to collaborate with. It was actually his own joint, but he had collaborated with Dave East on By the Stove. If you haven't heard that, check that out. You'll definitely be favoriting it. I listened to that over and over for a while. CJ Washington beautifully R&B's the hook on The Streets Is Calling, and it just really turned out to be a soulful track. On the interlude Eat With Me, That's hot. Jay Stone, he uses multis. That's MC jargon for rhyming the ending syllables of words multiple times, but still keep the content focused. And what impresses me is, you know, how he's able to do that, because all that lyrical, spiritual, miracle, empirical stuff, you know, that stuff don't impress me. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually have something to talk about. But if you just rhyme it fancifully, it's just gibberish. You're not really saying nothing. But Jay Stone shows that he can do both. You know, he's versatile in that way. On Downfall, Jay Stone revisits how dudes are always trying to stop your progress and go as far as to hope or even pray. They, you know, saying, try and, you know, make you fall on your downfall. It's kind of reminiscent of Notorious B.I.G.'s My Downfall on Life After Death. That's probably what inspired it. But yeah, that's a hot joint as well. Very solid. I love the production on Hate So Real and Love Be So Fake. I wonder who was the producer on that. If anybody knows, let me know. I gotta be honest though, I wish Jay Stone did a tad bit more rapping on that. Another 16 would have been nice. And then he ends this body of work with the song Losses. I'm not even going to speak on the details of it, because that's exactly what, you know, what it involves, losses. A lot of people would give up after all Jay Stone has been through, and, you know, he's still here getting his money up while simultaneously contributing to the culture with his truth, and that's a commendable thing. Will this record ultimately change the culture? Nah, I don't really see that happening instantaneously, because, you know, when you have a body of work that can do that, that's what ultimately makes it a classic. However, all classics don't turn out that way. Because, you know, sometimes you just gotta let time do his thing. I remember back in the day when I was a subscriber of Source Magazine, they reviewed a whole bunch of albums from the heyday, the golden era, and initially they didn't give them 5 mics, but they gave them very commendable ratings. But over time they had to revisit them and say, yo, this is a classic now. So you never know. This joint may stand the test of time and become that. You know, I'm not gonna make the judgment on that, but for now, as far as it, you know, coming out and ultimately changing the culture, nah. So, you know, other platforms use shirt sizes like XXL, you know what I'm saying? The Source used mics, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with gold chain. So if I had to rate this, I would say God Got Me gets 4 gold chains out of 5. So definitely add that to your library, and bump that if you haven't already done so. Before I get out of here, you know I gotta promote my own thing. I'm NIC MAG. Visit www.reverbnation.com/NIC MAG, and you can listen to all of my music, purchase a song or two, donate $1, or you can hit up my Cash App, $NIC MAG03. I feel as though when it comes to constructively criticizing the work in this culture, what better than for it to come from another fellow rap musician? You know, nothing against journalists, but I just feel as though when it comes from each other, it's more valuable. All right, so thank you for tuning in, and y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. Peace.